Welcome to Devouring the System. Devouring the System is going to be a more dark and gruesome game where the players are sent to another world that is dying and they must consume their way to success. If any topics that may not be okay with, more on the darker side, such as extreme violence, other dark topics of the same field, I would suggest not necessarily watching this, maybe skip it. I will be looking for when those topics do arise, and I will be putting the description below. If you see those times, because I successfully did that, feel free to watch and skip at those times. If you don't see those times, I would suggest a lovely, kid-friendly show to watch that will not cover those topics. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started with Chase's introduction into the world.
Excellent.
And go ahead and introduce yourself.
That's probably a good idea. Hello, I am Rex. I love acting and D&D. I am playing Chase. He is a werewolf from the city of Tulls, a very high-tech metropolis filled with people who hate monsters. So it's not a very fun time for Chase.
Yeah, and as our viewers can probably see, there are two other players here. Each player will do a similar introduction as Chase just did on their intro episode to view to get you started for Digimon Devour or Devouring the System. Anyways, so with that, they will participate with Chase today episodes, so they won't be proper. Myself, your GM, Nero, and I'll get started. Chase, it's going to open up on one of those stereotypical horror movies. Like it's dark, stormy, you've been running through the streets, you're bleeding, you're just trying to escape at not a large angry mob, but a small angry mob of thugs is chasing after you. Were just minding about your business and you're not sure who ratted on you, but they claimed that there was an issue. They've said some things that make
I bet it was that gargoyle.
feel like they know a little bit too much.
Oh, okay, that's not great. How injured is Chase at the moment?
You're pretty out injured. I'm going to say, let's say that you've got a piece of silver stuck in. So while you might not be like super badly injured, you are like constantly taking.
I think as Chase is running, as much as he can while not slowing down enough to get caught, he is going to try and like be clawing at the piece to get it out, because that is not great for him.
Yeah, so as you're clawing at this piece, you go ahead and we weren't going to do rolls original, but I know your character. Go ahead and give me just give me your choice of a survival roll or an endurance.
Oh, I think endurance makes most sense at this point, because he's trying to run. Yeah. And like not succumb to. Where am I rolling that?
So I don't actually have the video full. I thought. What rolling channel do you have access?
Yeah, none that specify anything about rolling.
Flip it.
There's a bots channel. I could roll that.
Okay. You should have access to roll in the Digimon Digital.
Yes. Awesome. What's my endurance? His endurance is 16.
Yeah, I think as you're like clawing at it, you're able to get there.
Excellent. The moment he's got it out, he's like gonna give it like a brief look about like accusingly, like, how dare you injure me, and then like flick it away. Where is he at the moment? Is this the back streets or is this,
like
in a more
essentially what happened is you were at the pub with your friend getting a drink, and then whenever you exited, you basically got shot or stabbed.
Great.
The specifics of it, unfortunately, as you're going, I assume you're not gonna stop running, because who would stop running in this scenario? There's like 10 or 15 people, which is still a small mob, not a large one, but you know, that's a lot of people. So you're taking dips and spins to make sure you are able to get out of the way. You're able to lose them, and after long, they are gone. But you know that they saw you. The city's large, and you'll be able to hide from them, and the chances of you running into them again is unlikely. Chances of them going to the authorities, or worse, the hunter, you're unsure of.
Fuck.
For the time being, though,
let's see. Is Chase near where he like usually roams, or has he been chased a little further out?
I would say you were probably out of your normal stomping grounds, which is how this kind of happened.
Yeah.
And so you've gotten back to your normal.
How bad is the wound? Does Chase think that it's something that he could sleep off, or is it something that he might need to actually go to someone for?
I think it's something you can avoid off. how well that will.
That's good enough for him. So he'll like slowly make his way. I mean, he's got his little like cape thing. I imagine he'll be like pressing the ends of it to the wound to try and like put pressure on it.
Yeah.
I mean, the cape is destroyed already. It's not little bit of blood isn't going to do anything. As he like stumbles back, just this like I imagine like a hole in like an abandoned building that he's fashioned to be his like home.
Okay.
It has like a bunch of just old furniture he's managed to scavenge and other stuff like that.
Yeah. Is there anyone else who?
It depends. Chase doesn't particularly live with anyone, but also he's not really very territorial. So like if someone wants to crash his place, he's perfectly fine with that.
Okay.
So I imagine like half the time he has like some other like monster folk living there if they don't have anywhere else to go.
Okay. I guess with that being said, do either of your supporting this episode want to say that they're there, seeing Chase stumble in covered in blood and obvious burn marks from the silver?
Would it have been your regular place, or would you have gone somewhere more secure?
My regular place probably.
Would that be a place that would have been set up for you? Would that have been a place that you would have had set up for you?
Yes, yeah. This is like the place that Chase calls home.
Okay, yeah. Krista comes from upstairs.
Describe this version of Krista.
She probably wears some pretty flowy robes. She is a mage in this world. On her left wrist seems to be some form of bracer with a keypad on it. You knew that her being a techno mage, that is how she primarily casts, is through this device. Basically, is her spell book. She just types the code in and announces the spell, and away it goes. Yeah, she'll come down. She's medium height, maybe 5'6" ish. So she's not, and she's very, very thin in this world. Long
I
brown
imagine
flowy hair.
Chase will like stumble in, fall back onto the couch, which probably is not great for his open wound considering how filthy it is. And like give
you
like
fall back to the couch,
a
like a little
dismissive wave.
blood bursts out, gets over everything.
Naturally, this is not
What?
the first time this has happened.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. Okay, they attacked me.
That's what you said last week.
Yeah, well, that's what happened last week as well. Okay, it's not my fault that they know where all the pubs are.
If you didn't get thrown out of the ones nearby, you wouldn't have had this issue.
Hey, in my defense, the vampire's an asshole.
Do
Chris
you
deserved
want
it.
that? Do you want that patched up?
I mean, yeah, it does kind of hurt. They used silver.
I mean, I could cauterize it. You know, healing magic's not great, but that might speed it up a little.
Yeah, let's do that. He sits up and like starts removing the like cloth from around the area.
So probably from a bag on her pouch, she'll pull out like a piece of cork and bottle of whiskey or something, dousing the cork in the whiskey, and then shoves it right into his mouth. They've probably been through this before.
Oh yeah.
Hitting the sequence on her wrist, her right hand will start to heat up. Doesn't seem to hurt her much. And then she goes, "All right, on the count of 3, ready? 3," and then she touches it. And, you know, once it's properly sealed, she'll the spell deactivates and she'll pull the cork from his mouth and go, "Yeah."
Not fair, but thank you.
Big giant grin on her face. It's the only way she could really get back at him.
Oh, that's a lot better. You don't happen to have like a fancy spell or something for making me immune to silver?
No, that's not quite how it works. I bend elements, not people.
It was worth a try. Silver's an element, I think.
I mean, if I wanted to shoot you with silver,
you can do that.
I mean, if I have enough of it, I could probably just throw it with wind.
Chase immediately, like, questioning his life choices.
You said words for sure, and as the GM, I should entirely be listening. No idea what was said. Questioning life choice.
She basically just announced that she can fling metal with wind.
Oh, yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Basic elemental control, right?
So, you're the only one here?
Probably. I
Fine,
sent Alizza out. I sent Alizza out like 3 hours ago. I don't know if they'll be back anytime soon, but we'll see.
On what missions this time?
Somebody was getting a little too close to a couple of the northern safe houses. Just making sure that they get the wrong idea.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we just set those up.
And 2 extras.
I think I have a crate of supplies left upstairs. I'm not sure if you saw them or not.
Won't really need them. These are just going to be warded rooms. anti-tracking, throw stuff off, you know.
Can save it for the next one then.
Yeah. Nobody's meant to stay there.
As you two are talking, Chase would desperately feel himself fighting to stay away.
Yeah, he's like, now that he's been...
would definitely see that, like, Chase's body is basically trying to...
Chase is certainly not fighting it. Like, now that the wound has been cauterized, like, as he's talking, he's, like, lying down, fully practically asleep at this point.
Yeah.
As he's been talking.
Upstairs. Do not get any more blood on my couch.
I'm pretty sure this is my couch, but I don't want to go upstairs.
To pull out a blanket from a cabinet or something and just cover him with it.
Thank you.
And as that happens, Chase, you would drift off. You would start to dream again. You've been having these nightmares lately, of these creatures playing with you and having fun and without a care in the world. And almost all the time it ends with person showing up, because I don't actually tales of the character that well, telling you it's time to flee, and which was shortly followed by strange shadowy creatures, like large, almost pseudo tentacle like appendages with a giant body behind it, like, rapidly crawling towards trying to get these creatures from. And for the most part, you've been able to escape 90% of the time. You have seen a bunch of these creatures. It used to be like dozens, if not thousands, of these creatures would fill your dream. Now it is down. So the dream starts out the same. Do you want to describe your 3 creatures?
Yeah. So I imagine, like, Chase, in his one of the creatures I imagine is like a pup, like a dog. The other one being someone a little like another werewolf like him.
Okay, and being back, you describe your characters. You did a great time before, but just those creatures, can you describe them one more time?
As a just as a note for myself before, I'm going to assume these are the 3 Digillusions, right?
These are your rookies.
Excellent, awesome. So yeah, so that's what I was assuming. Okay, I can do that again. So the 3 creatures that Chase has playing with him. The first one I imagine is like a wolf pup.
Okay, yep.
So black fur, white markings. The second one is someone similar to Chase, another werewolf. This one's sort of wearing like some like a white sort of, the kind of like it's not armor, but it's like the type of like fake armor you would find like a kid wearing during Halloween.
Yeah.
And the third one, while Chase recognizes them and knows them from the dream, recognizes them in the previous ones, but cannot seem to fully picture them in his mind. There is something blocking him from being able to see it. So he's not quite sure exactly what they look like.
You are going to be able to see the fact that it is kind of the one standing guard over you're playing with the others, you're having the time of your life, and this one is just sitting there, almost like a human, almost like a parent watching children. I want to be clear that the reason I said human was you typed humanoid there. But yeah, anyways, so that's kind of what you're seeing happen as you're playing with it. And the shadows, you're playing in the sun. Shadows are ever encroaching. Familiar figure walks up. Again, you're not able to process like what they look like or like really anything like that. But it's comforting, and they go, you have to leave them behind.
Is Chase able to communicate in the stream? Like, is he able to like stuff?
Yeah, that's kind of why I paused, was for you to be able to respond.
Fair enough, okay. Sorry.
The big thing is, like, you'll be able to respond, but I think I did talk to you all about this during your dream sequences. A lot of it will be me telling you what's happening to your character.
Yeah.
And, like, you can try to fight that, but it's a dream, so you can't really control too much what's going on. So, if I ever pause, you do have the right, and you can say what you're trying to do, but that does not mean it will just emphasize more of the...
Drac will, Chase will look over for this. What if I don't want to?
It's unfortunate.
I mean, I can take them with me.
I'm gonna say you're playing with them, that one that you don't want to remember and you cannot cross. I'm gonna say, as you say, I can take them with me, or this person goes, because I know the gender. I was just kind of defaulting to the universal he. But this person goes save you, and as that happens, Chase is going to start to see more of that creature that he couldn't see before. and Chase is going to have a flashback to the first time, and you can completely veto what I'm about to think. It would be really good. So I'm gonna say it,
Oh,
and
go
then
for it.
just let me, and just so the other players know, that's gonna be a lot of how my games work. Is if I cross something or say something, you are always free, and I say something that is specifically like your character's past or something, you can always tell me, hey, no, that's not exactly what it is, because I'm human. I'll mess stuff up. But you have like a flashback to your first chain. You remember how you went on a rampage. You killed dozens of innocent people. Honestly, you should have probably been
Absolutely.
definitely took down many people that you were friends with. Ever since then, you have been to atone for this sin that you've never truly accepted. You've always said that was the monster. That wasn't me. That was the monster. But deep down, you knew that was you.
Yeah.
You've never really got. And as you see
Chase,
that, you see that the
Chase is a born werewolf as opposed to a turned one, so he never had anyone to help him control that side of him. So it was not pretty the first time.
And with that being said, realize what this creature is, that this is that beast. You start to get scared of it. You want to run away. Your feet start moving before you start to attack. And then the tendril, all alone, the darkness starts to immune and you wake up. And how you wake up suddenly. I don't remember how we said Alizza worked, but Alizza, I'm gonna introduce.
Oh, I was gonna have him sleeping on top of him.
Oh, you're sleeping on top? Okay, you can introduce.
I was just gonna have them turn into a cat and just sleep on top of them.
Yeah, so you wake up and you like throw this cat across the room. Krista would hear a huge commotion from downstairs, and unfortunately, as you all collaborate in the room,
Yeah, I'll come down, try to figure out why there was a thud and a meow and
yeah,
angry cat noises.
I'll give you all a second to do some light RP before the next.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So she comes downstairs and she goes, "What the hell did you do?"
Alizza, what the hell?
I was sleeping. You see them turn back into a hybrid form.
And two people who are important that you haven't are, I'm gonna say Chris is probably your only like actual human friend, like isn't magical or anything like that. This may change based on what Chris's player decides. And then I cannot for the love of me remember who Silva's character's called.
Chris is a vampire.
Oh, Chris is a vampire. Okay, cool.
That's
Yep,
right.
we
We did
discussed that
discuss
last week.
that last week.
Yeah.
I don't know about Silva,
Silva
but Chris is a vampire.
still hasn't been involved. So Chris is going.
Chris is the
to...
asshole that got me kicked out of the pub.
Yeah. Chris opens the door hurriedly before shutting it and locking. As you all are starting this, and he like vampires already look pale, but Chris looks extremely. He starts blubbering, and you can't really make out, but you do make out hunters, magicians. They're together and like different things, and like a bunch of groups start banging on the doors. Feel that the building is surrounded. Like there is that much magical and non-magical, just spiritual.
Chris, who the hell did you piss off?
And with that, you see Chris get stabbed through the.
Krista's gonna try to attempt to throw up an elemental wall in front of the door, because
Oh,
I'm
man.
assuming we have underground exits.
Yeah. So you throw it out.
Chase always has an exit plan.
Yep.
So you know that most likely Chris, being a vampire, is not dead, but he does fall down, is unable to move, and you know that it is not worth trying. So
She's already written him off.
Sorry, my computer crashed.
TLDR, Chris got killed.
The last thing I heard was throw up an elemental wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty much the end of it, and then Krista saying we should run.
Yep. Downstairs through the exit.
Shit.
He's good as dead. Let's go.
She's already basically written him off.
Yeah. So you go downstairs and go through the exit, and as you all are running, I'm gonna flip a coin because I know Krista doesn't have a character sheet. Otherwise, I would have Krista and Alizza a dodge roll, and whoever got lower is the next one to be removed.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Do you want us to just roll 3d6 as a base?
Yeah, you know what? Let's just do 3d6 base. So you two both roll 3d6. Whoever gets higher will be the one who's able to move on.
I stepped away. Could you roll it for me?
Of course, bud. I got you.
Literally, before
What's
you
the command?
reintroduced us, I
Slash
came out for a
R.
smoke.
You gotta beat a
Thank you.
7. I believe in you.
Well, don't, because, like, Chase prefers Krista.
There's a 2/3% chance that you'll beat it.
Fuck.
So, Krista, good news. As you are going down, good news for you as far as like you're away from the keyboard.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is you open the door and the two of them just see a giant maw like go around your neck and rip you into the Krista's neck and rips you into the hallway. And there is a split second where I need to know, what did the two of you do? There's no chance really to go behind, but there is a split second that if you run, thing will be distracted by Krista that you can make, or you can try to save Chris, fight it. But you know that chances are you'll have to fight everything else trying to get into.
Well, they're written off. Let's go.
So
Uh,
Eliza's gone.
I imagine, I imagine like Chase is like absolutely distraught at this. Krista is one of his closest companions. To see that happen to her, like, definitely puts him in shock for a bit. He wouldn't go to fight it because he knows he wouldn't win.
No,
But it definitely takes him a moment to start running again.
Okay. I'm gonna do another 3d6 just kind of flat luck check to see if that hesitation is enough to really screw you over. I'm gonna say it's not.
I'm gonna make a really terrible joke.
Yeah.
Eliza's a little two-faced.
Yeah.
To be fair, they did exactly what they did to Chris.
To be
Yeah,
fair,
well-
you did ditch Chris too.
Yeah, but nobody likes Chris. We tolerated Chris.
That's true.
Chris is awesome.
And who's better to be Two-Faced than the shapeshifter?
That's why I said it was gonna be a terrible joke.
Chase, real quick, which NPC did you decide
Geraldine.
Geraldine, okay.
We talked it over, and it doesn't so far.
So, as you're running, Alizza and Chase, you get out, and you get up, to the, like, out of the sewer system you were in, and into the actual street proper. Chase, you can always say that you go somewhere else, but I think the only place you can think that is currently safe is Bakery.
Yeah,
So-
like that is, but besides his own home, that is where he feels safest.
Yeah. I do think, I think it would be really, if, Geraldine was either some sort of, like, person or a, like, witch with a little rat familiar.
That's
because,
adorable.
Which would you prefer, Chase?
I think, given the role she plays in the story, I think witch makes the most sense.
Okay, yeah.
Like, because they're still human, even if they do interact with monster kind.
Yeah, definitely. And as you are like crawling out, you're right next to Geraldine's shop. You know you can get in. Chase, you and Alizza, I know both of you have your stats. Go ahead and give me, what is your movement speed for both of you?
I would need to check. My computer crashed.
Okay.
Is this a hybrid movement or a human movement?
Tell me how much.
Yeah, I'm looking real quick. Yours is 5. So this is where things are going to come down to it. I need endurance rolls from both. Alizza,
I guess it's +2.
you will need to you do have a +2 to that, but to be able to not be the one left behind in the dust, you will have to beat Chase's roll because there is a 3-point.
Good luck.
In fact, you failed it. So Chase, you are up it, and you see Alizza grab it, and he starts climbing up and is like getting out and reaching out to you. And you just see him yanked into the darkness, and you just see a bunch of glowing eyes looking. The hunters.
There's another like moment of like terror in his eyes. He sees another one of his friends get taken.
I imagine as I'm pulled down, I'm just taking forms of different things to make it more horrifying. And one of them's him.
What you see is you see Alizza take on all these different forms before you see a hunter, which you're all too familiar with, walk up and stab Alizza in the neck, and Alizza quickly goes unconscious. Is known as Land. Been
God.
a large problem because you do know that Land is friends with Gerald. And you see him, he is dressed very nicely, very muscular looking, strong. His long hair almost mimics a lion. And you see, not quite familiar with this creature, but what appears to be a small lion. And with that, you flee into...
I do imagine he'll feign going a different direction first because he doesn't want to lead them straight to Geraldine.
Oh, yeah, no, I think you definitely did because, like, you popped out of the sewer right in front of Geraldine's bakery. I assumed you went down, like, the alley, cut back. Krista, I'm sorry that I wasn't even thinking about the fact that I killed her that way.
Fuck, I'm just sitting here like, wow, dude.
Yeah,
Just
It's a universal constant.
wow.
you killed us in the same way we asked to, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so messed up.
I'm
So
eaten
fitting.
and I'm just
You know-
stabbed.
You know, from now on, we all have to be killed the same way. It's a
Yeah.
thing now.
Um,
So messed up.
to be fair, I think Chris is the only one that might change because I just made that up.
That's true.
As you
That
go
works
in,
so well.
you shut the door, you lock it, and Geraldine looks up from her what she calls it her cauldron, but it's basically just it kind of looks like a cauldron, but just looks like an industrial size like mixing bowl basically. And her little rat
Yep.
sitting there on the side. You see that he's like washing his hands and he looks over at you and like chitters a little bit like and then starts like throwing some ingredients into the bowl.
Chase looks at Geraldine with a look of pure terror, like absolutely speechless.
Oh, Chase, darling, are you okay?
Hunters,
Oh, yes, I'm quite aware they were coming after Chris, so I figured you all would.
we didn't get away.
She says pointing to you, and with that, you hear 3 sharp knocks on the front. And I assume that's Lance at the door now. If you'd like, I was hooking up a concoction. It'll get you out of here. It'll be painful, but you'll escape.
Will you be okay?
I mean, I'll be going with you.
Oh, okay.
And as that happens, you kind of look into the and mind you, when I say this is an industrial size mixing bowl, I mean like it looks like a human could fit in. Like it basically looks like a small like kitty. Yeah, it's a vat basically. And you see a weird swirling, except maybe not a liquid. You're really not sure. It's something for sure. What exactly it is?
It's gonna kill me.
Are you asking out of character? Is that an out of character statement or a Chase statement?
No, that's a Chase statement.
Ah, yes, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and she, like, pushes you forward to jump in.
Alright. He'll, like, hop up onto the rim, perch himself on the rim, and then, like, dive in.
As you dive in, you do hear, the front door bust down. Again, this is, essentially what you're looking at is you're standing on the side of, like I said, a kiddie pool. Like, it is a vat, technically, but
Yeah.
it's not super big, not super deep. But as you fall in, you hit the liquid solid. It feels like all states of matter at once as it rips you to shreds. This is the most painful you've ever been. And then you hear 2 shots, and you look behind as Geraldine's body falls in with her rat. You see the light whistling of the woods, and as you open your eyes, you're in the middle of a strange looking woods that you've never been around, and your friends are all there, but something's not quite. We can have some time for some last minute comments. I got about 20 minutes before I...
That was-
so...
Yeah.
So, guess who's rolling a torment first thing when we start this thing for real?
Oh!
I was gonna say, if you want to, you could go ahead and roll that torment now and we can, like, mark down, or you can just mark down that we need to roll it, but I won't remember otherwise.
Roll it.
I'll roll it. Yeah, I'll roll it, and we can like discuss the what actually happens like when we return to this. Because I want to roll his torment survival of the fittest.
Yeah, I do want to remind you, if you do critically fail the torment, you will Digimon.
Lovely. That's I'm sure the real Krista will absolutely adore that.
Just
She's
immediately
gonna
wakes
shoot
up,
him.
and someone wakes up and immediately turns into a freaking werewolf in front of you.
Actually, she's gonna recognize it because we discussed that his werewolf form is who's in her world.
I know, but
So she's gonna recognize him.
This would be an even worse werewolf form because he's going to actually evolve.
I do
And
know.
she's
I do
gonna
know what
shoot
I want
him.
to go for his Dark Champion. I do know what I want to go with, which is a sort of like Skullgarurumon-esque.
Yeah.
I have a Skullgarurumon.
To be fair, I do want to let you know, and because I know we talked about this a little bit, but not a whole lot. Your dark forms, each line has its own unique dark form. So.
Oh, okay. I thought it was each torment that had a.
No, not each torment. Each line. So whatever line you have as your most active or whatever. Whenever your torment causes you to dark evolve, that's what you go down.
Oh.
I'm definitely fine with each.
So much.
I'm fine with each torment having it instead, but if we did it that way, it would be that you have one torment that's like a dark version of your normal trait.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Like, I'm fine with either. I just figured that since torments are what causes...
Yeah.
I only have the one torment, though. I was planning to just go one major.
Oh yeah, that's what everyone was supposed to.
Yeah, it's what I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've got an extra minor or something.
Yeah, I said do one major and then your choice of if you want to do like a minor or not. That's fine. But I just said at least one.
So I'm gonna roll my major torment, which is survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
The description for it, which I will change because I don't like the wording, but it's Chase learned very early that the one rule in life is kill or be killed. It's hard to be moved by death when it's the only constant in life. People die, that's how the world works. No use mourning those who weren't strong enough to survive. Which has a little bit of a different meaning when applied to his friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that sounds good as like a basis, but I feel like that's more of a how you worded that is more of an effect wording versus a torment.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to change it a little bit to him being more like to having more of a like marked by death to the point of being completely apathetic to it.
I
Like,
do
that's
have
his, like,
to
clear
love.
response.
I do actually have to love the fact that somehow Krista became the most important to him, and this Krista is probably going to really not like him because he's a kill stealer in her world.
I can almost guarantee it.
So it's going to be a very weird, drastic split between the two of them.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at what I'm rolling.
Let's see what that torment's like.
That's not good.
Oh, we always love it. It's a DC
Six.
15. That is a critical failure.
Is it DC 15?
I'm
It is a 15 for major.
Sure it's 15.
Oh, okay.
For a major, it's 15. For a minor, it's 12.
Oh, okay. I thought they were all 12.
Just for the record, I'm just gonna say this: Alizza was female in his world too. I want that shock. Just could never
I
tell.
I imagined Alizza was very non-binary.
Yeah, they probably took on multiple forms each day.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Oh, he's gonna get shot.
Take a picture and send it to him.
He's
Please
gonna
send it
get
to me.
shot.
Send it to me too, please.
Oh no,
He's
sorry.
gonna get shot.
I can send you a picture, but my roommate's cat just jumped on the door. So.
Oh, that's adorable.
No, he climbed his way up there.
Aww.
I
I'm
understand
so sorry,
that it
Rex.
sounds adorable, but whenever you look over and you see that, it's very frustrating.
Yes, it would be.
Oh yeah, that too.
I am going to apologize in advance, Rex. He's going to get shot.
Oh no, he deserves it.
Being shot is fine. I'm just trying to find where does it say the torment?
It's under character creation, I think, isn't it?
Okay, look, the books are set up different. I've been reading the 2E book lately because I'm working on a sheet for that.
Fair.
So, that it's got the mechanics for torment, and the character creation for torments are two different. No, the target number is always 12. I mean, it is still a critical failure.
It is still a critical fail. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's still.
It is always 12. In the new one, they upped it to always be 15.
I just realized something, by the way.
Yeah.
Krista was killed after writing off Chris. I was killed after writing off Krista.
Yep.
Yep.
I didn't die because I didn't write off anyone.
You did write
Be
off
kind to your
people,
friends.
but
You did. You wrote off Chris.
Well, no, there was a little like he was a little.
I will say,
still a little sad about
Chase hesitating did almost get him killed multiple times.
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of want to see Chris make Kristen not be a cold person anymore. I kind of like that he would bring part of his Krista to her.
Well, we like Krista in his world is the one who runs a range, right?
With
Shooting
that,
range.
we did roll the dark, the roll, so we're just gonna go over that real quick. So, homebrew rules is that if you critically fail a torment check, you automatically dark digivolve. If you fail, you can choose to dark digi. If you succeed, nothing happens, and if you critically succeed, you can choose to go down a normal, healthy evidence.
I just realized,
and
to succeed, you need to roll all sixes.
Not necessarily.
For now, like as you mark it, as you mark boxes, it becomes easier.
Yeah, I mean, like at the beginning with the 15 TN.
No, it's a 12 TN. We did discuss that. I just
12.
Okay.
Yeah.
I set it up wrong. That's actually one of the complaints that 2E had, is 2E set it up with 15, which made it nigh impossible for even people who specialized to do it. With
Yeah.
that, is there anything anyone wants to say before I stop the recording?
I hope you all enjoyed our lovely performance.
Yeah.
And I
Like-
hope to see you again.
Yeah, like,
Um,
subscribe, and make fan art of Alizza.
Sounds good. And do remember you can catch streams live starting in September. Ooh, what September? Sometime in September. Find the date
Yeah,
real
fair
quick.
enough.
Okay, so we'd start
Hi,
every other
future
week.
Nero.
Yep,
By the way.
September 6th is when streams should start. It might be the 20th. It depends on how often we can get these actually done, and see every other week. We
Going
hope to
forward.
see you there. You can find us at Nero the GM at Twitch or YouTube. And you can find me on socials at that same location, though I am not big on the socials. And yeah, and then if you want to support, there is a page. Don't have anything set up on there really well. Penny for your thought.
And remember, eat or be eaten.
Depending
It'll
what
be-
happens, we might have 2 Dark Evolutions.
Yes, depending on. I'm just imagining everyone dark evolves.
Session 1 is just a brawl between all the Dark Digivolutions.
Honestly, I think you all would really enjoy that.
I would.
What a way to introduce ourselves.
Do
Oh,
remember
right.
that I think Dark Evolutions gain half of the DP, so they have 1.5 times as much DP as normal
Yes,
evolutions.
they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, very interesting times, especially with the fact that no one else can evolve naturally. So the only way to
Hey,
evolve
God,
right now
I'm so
is
sorry.
to fail a Dark Evolution, because otherwise you just don't meet the requirement for most of you. So, with that being said,
Most of you.
thank you and have a good time. Bye.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Bye.